This is Tailgate Talk, presented by Tarpon Blue.
Let's take a ride. In this series, we're going to show you everything Texas and its surrounding southern states has to offer, right here from our very own tailgate.
We'll take you from life on the farm and the ranch to the big city lights. This is Tailgate Talk. Come along for the ride.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's version of Tailgate Talk. I'm Dean Wallace, this is Joey Van Hecke. We are here at the Double Nickle Taxidermy Studios with Jon Wilson and his crew, and you are about to see one of the finest taxidermy studios anywhere as far as I'm concerned. So Jon, I've personally been coming here for many years, even when you were back in what I would call a garage, I guess, compared to this. And Joey, he's got frequent flyer miles coming here. He's here so much. So I guess before we get started with the process and looking at everything you have here, how did you get started in all this?
You know, I started in high school just working part-time, cleaning up a guy's shop in New Braunfels, and did a lot of the grunt work, but at the same time I was able to soak in some of the things that he was doing artistically. And growing up hunting, you know, in Comal County, we didn't kill any huge deer, but the ones we did, we were proud of, and we would do our own horn mounts and European mounts, little things like that I would pick up working, you know, part-time at this taxidermy studio. And then as I grew, you know, got into teaching, and that was real conducive to do taxidermy because I had long breaks, stretches in the summer and in winter, deer season, when I could help out local taxidermists and kind of pick up little tricks of the trade, and you know, that grew into doing my own stuff, to friend stuff, to family, to, you know, it just kind of grew organically from there.
Oh, that's great. You know, you alluded to something there, talking about we didn't kill a lot of big deer, and you can look around the hall in here and there's just some monsters. But for me, each one of those represents a great memory for somebody, right? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it is, you know, and a lot of times we'll visit with the clients as they come in with their deer, and usually the ones that killed a buck on Grandpa's place, you know, and it's a little 6 or 7 pointer, appear to be, you know, happier and had a great experience than the guy corporate hunt that comes in and drops off an animal. And he's
that's
around
awesome.
and go home. So it's good to see, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how many pieces are you doing a year now, give or take?
Total pieces, we'll do anywhere in the neighborhood of 2,500 to 3,000. And that's, you know, we've been fortunate to grow into the international hunting industry as well. So year round, we're getting stuff in. So it's not just, we're not just set to deer season. So year round, we're getting different stuff, and being in the great state of Texas, you can hunt something 365 days a year. So that doesn't hurt anything. But yeah, so year round, it kind of changes with the seasons, but overall, you know, we're getting your whitetail, your mule deer right now, you know, pronghorn antelope early in a season like this. But Africa is another primary area where we get animals in from, but they're on the southern hemisphere, so they kind of parallel. Our hunting season is their off season, and then our off season during the summer is their winter.
Oh, so that works.
So that's their hunting season. So it's turned into kind of this year-round cycle. So we've been fortunate in that aspect.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything you do specifically to gear up for Texas whitetail season?
We do. We like to get involved with some of the local hunting shows, and we go out, meet people, you know, start showing people how to cape deer, things like that. We stock up on supplies, of course, which right now is kind of a struggle in itself. But other than that, you know, we get the team in here, we review how to fill out invoices, make sure, you know, a lot of the legal aspects of what we do are taken care of and done appropriately, like hunting licenses, things like that we have to document. But yeah, otherwise, you know, it's just a hurry up and wait thing. Hopefully cooler weather will arrive soon.
So how many people do you have working for you now?
Our team right now, we have 11 people.
Wow.
Not all taxidermists, but total our team is about 11 people. We may add 1 or 2 in the deer season or peak season.
Just to help out a little.
Just to help out extra hands. But yeah, over the years, you know, we've learned the hard way how to hire people and what to look out for and to do it right. But the team we have, you know, been here a while. Everybody's experienced, so we're fortunate.
Well, in today's world, that's invaluable, right?
I'm telling you, yeah. And we'd hire another couple if we could, but yeah, you got to be careful. It's a lot easier to just be patient and wait for the right one than to undo something.
I agree completely. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the process, you know, we've, as you alluded to earlier, we were literally I was in my garage for a while, then we transitioned to a kind of a storage unit building where we added on, there were 8 of them there at the end. And so over the years, we've kind of found what works, what doesn't logistically in a building, and designed this place to operate as efficient as we can. And so stuff comes in here in the front office, we document everything, get information. It transitions over to our skinning room, and we've kind of designed it to just do a full circle. So everything moves, and it's not A to C to D to F.
Gotcha.
So skinning room is the next stop for an animal when it comes in. Of course, the hide goes to the tannery. It's there for a few months, and then once we get it back, we check it in, get measurements, order forms, all the materials we need, and then we will mount them here behind us in the back. That's where I guess the magic happens. We put them back together and do all the finishing work, and then they'll transition up right behind this garage door here to get a final check over, and then back up here, I guess, to make the full circle to the showroom to be picked up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the process in a nutshell.
Well, you're doing so many heads all year long. You got to be efficient, right?
We do, you know, and it's one of those things, I don't remember the math, but back where we were in our previous location, I taped out, we were walking 60 miles a year that we didn't need to total.
Wow.
You know, in a year that, you know, how long does it take to travel 60 miles? You know, and we have 11 people, multiply that times 11. So just those little efficiencies we've learned and you know, through trial and error, and they seem to be working okay here. This is our 4th year out here.
Yeah, that's great.
So I think one thing that makes y'all a little different too is like, I mean, all taxidermy is got a unique aspect, but the custom side that y'all do more or less.
Yeah, we kind of pride ourselves in the ability to be given some direction and then being able to kind of take it and make it our own. There's a lot of taxidermy out there, and a lot of it is left, right, straight, kind of cookie cutter stuff. We send our artists to schools to learn how to do things differently, so it's just not us bouncing ideas off of our, you know, an echo chamber here. So yeah, we like to do things kind of outside the box when we're given the opportunity, and luckily so far it's turned out pretty good for us, so it's fun.
Yeah, I think that's a unique aspect that y'all do. I mean, if you can basically mold it and tell them what you want, you guys can bring it to life. Yeah,
it's you know, it's fun. Everything we mount it's fun to do, but you get into the routine where it's kind of monotonous. You do white-tailed deer after white-tailed deer after shoulder mount after shoulder mount. So to be given kind of that creative running space, you know, like these zebras here, completely custom, 2 different species. They don't make forms like that, so we have to kind of create that from scratch.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's a lot of foam, and we weld up armature to go up in there to make it strong, and you know, to have the spinning aspect. So it's fun for us to get to do that. And so yeah, whenever we get those opportunities, we grab them. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing how you've kind of adopted technology into it with the trophy scan and, you know, doing the the mounts.
It's scary, not scary in a bad way, but it's amazing how far technology has come in an industry kind of as primitive as taxidermy.
Yeah.
And how much we rely on it. The mannequins we use inside of these mounts are anatomically correct. They have a lot of details that, you know, we will randomly we'll get old mounts in that people inherited, or you know, that were mounted in the 50s, and we'll take them apart, and those guys had to make their own forms out of nothing. So to be able to just get on the computer and click a button and it shows up at your door, and it's anatomically correct, has the right turns, it makes our job easy, but you know, the end result is giving the customer a better product, a more correct product. So we love the taxidermy technology, so to speak. But yeah, the trophy scans and what that's doing, the 3D printing, I think we'll see in the years to come. It's just going to lift our game to a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, definitely for the international guys that have something they can't bring back, they can get it replicated, scanned, send it to you guys, and then if there's a cape, you can obviously utilize that cape. And
yeah, you know, it's we don't do fish anymore, but the replica fish, fiberglass fish we were working with 8 years ago, I mean, you had to carve the mouth out yourself, and you had to fix little seams. But now, I mean, it's you can scan something, a live fish, and get an exact replica of that specific fish with all the measurements the same. It's pretty amazing. And like I said, for the customer, the end result is going to be a better mount on your wall in the years to come. So we're trying to stay on the cutting edge and learn as much as we can. Like everything else, the only thing that doesn't change is that things change. Right. And so we're trying to stay on the cusp of that.
Well, it's pretty obvious if you've ever been in any taxidermy studios how special this place is, and just by looking around the walls and seeing what you've got here. So everything in here is just waiting to leave. Is that?
For the most part, yeah. We've adopted a few of these items. Just, you know, people lose their job, they move, they, you know, get divorced. So things happen in life where some of these will just kind of foreclose on and use them to decorate our showroom. But yeah, I'd say 85% of the mounts in here are just belong to people that have dropped their stuff off for us to take care of and ready to go home. So yeah, it's neat. Like we were discussing earlier off camera, it's kind of a revolving door, and it's seasonal. Sometimes parts of the year you'll come in and see a bunch of African stuff. Sometimes you'll come in and see a bunch of whitetail. So it's neat. People come in, you know, sometimes just to look around, even if they don't have any work for us to do.
So I would.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a neat place.
I think that's what sets this shop apart from some is, I mean, when you pull up to it, it's this big giant building, and you walk in and it's very organized and neat and super clean, and you can tell y'all take pride in what y'all do.
We do. You know, it's the little things, I think, you know, that make a big difference. And from keeping a clean workspace, I've been in a lot of taxidermy studios, as you can imagine. And, you know, most of the time you're met with a smell as you walk in the front door. And,
that's right.
And not a pleasing smell, but, you know, it's those little things, keeping things clean, polishing the floors, greeting people with a smile at the front door, you know, having something to show them, interacting with them, being thankful they're there. It's those things, they don't cost anything, but it just takes a little effort, and I think those things go a long way.
Well, Ashley definitely did her job earlier. She was smiling when we walked in. So.
Good, that's good to hear.
What's next for Double Nickel and the team?
You know, I think we're just going to continue trying to up our game. We recently had some artists come back. They were in South Carolina for a week training with a renowned bear taxidermist and learning, like I said, the cutting edge stuff. We don't get a ton of bears in Texas, so that's kind of a weaker part of our game. So we've tried to identify the things that we can improve on and figure out how to improve on those. I think same can be said from our customer service. We're continually learning, sending out surveys, how to treat our clients better and provide a better experience, not just a beautiful mount on the wall, but that's one part of it. But when they go home, and they show their friends, what was their overall experience? You know, were you rude to them? You know, did you tell them it'd be 6 months and it was 12 months? You know, little things like that. So, you know, I think what's ahead for us is just good times. We have a lot of fun here as a group. We're very diverse, but somehow we make it work, and everybody enjoys being here. I think I'll say that because I'm a little biased, but yeah, I think just continue to do what we do, not make any drastic changes, but just continually improving our game and treating people right, and I think the rest will take care of itself.
I think that's great that you guys are always continuously getting better. I thought it was really good at the extravaganza we were at the other day, and your team was talking about not just the process, but also how to take care of it after you get it home. Because there were some things in there that I need to be doing that I'm not, so that was good information.
I mean, that's one of those things, if we could reach out to everybody before their hunt, I mean, we'd save a lot of heartache. And I think any taxidermist will tell you that, because a lot of times, you know, they're harvesting something on the ground, laying on its side. It's either very hot, very cold. There may or may not have been a little alcohol involved prior. And, you know, mistakes are made, but a lot of times those mistakes are very preventable. And if they'd have just known ahead of time, you know, we could have saved them that phone call and, you know, telling them, hey, either your mount's not going to work out or it's going to cost you a little bit more money to fix what was done. So,
right.
You know, educate, you know, these booths we do, we used to try to have the best mount and, you know, what can we do that's different? But I think we've started taking a different approach. That part is good, but also what can we do to educate people at the same time? And so we've tried to take that approach this year and having that, you know, the deer mannequin showing people what to do, what not to do. And like you said, transporting animals.
Yeah.
Just some of that stuff that people probably don't know.
Well, John, you talked about earlier being a teacher, which makes this seem a whole lot more believable to me
More
because
legit, yeah.
I picked this up the other day at the extravaganza and started looking through there, reading it, and
Yeah.
and this is amazing. You're a great writer. I mean,
Well,
I was pleasantly surprised, so to speak. But the stories in this book that John wrote, and I don't know the story behind that, but
Yeah.
they're very interesting, very entertaining.
You know, taxidermy is kind of an interesting world to begin with. A lot of preconceived notions on what a taxidermist is and kind of what they do. But you know, I don't know if there's a specific reason behind the book other than, man, we experience a lot of different things here that I'll tell the stories to people and they just are blown away. That really happened, and
Well,
that's how that works.
That's exactly how I felt when I was reading this.
You know, so I thought it would be good to kind of document that stuff. There's not a lot of taxidermy books out there per se. There's some how-tos, but about the industry in general. So just wanted to bring some of those things to light, and you know, that's a legacy too that I can leave my kids. And hey, this is part of what I was a part of, you know, when I was going through my professional life. So.
You definitely succeeded. And just from my point of view, I'm not a big book reader or anything like that, but if you want some good entertainment and you love hunting and outdoors, this is a definite read.
Very interesting.
Sure. Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, it was one of the bucket list things to check off too. And you know, I've always wanted to write a book. And being an educator, former educator, I'm into that kind of nerdy stuff. So.
So is there going to be a version 2?
I don't know. I've already experienced a few things since writing that.
You haven't put in
that
there?
We may have to make a sequel, but yeah,
Good.
It's neat. It's a neat industry.
Yeah. All right, John. Well, we want to thank you for letting us come out today. Where can people first find you, and then also, you know, social media, internet? What can people do?
Yeah. Our shop location is here in New Braunfels. We're just north of town on Interstate 35. But we have Instagram, Facebook. You can call the office anytime if you have any questions. We have a website, doublenickeltaxidermy.com. Reach out on there or any of those social media platforms, and we usually do our best to reply within 24 hours. So.
Okay. And you can always call Joey. He's here once a week, I think.
Yeah,
so.
he's responsible for having this stuff.
Borderline employee.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Great to see you guys.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in today, and thank you to our guests for sharing their story.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you next time on Tailgate Talk.
We'll tell you